good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your friend, your host, Dharam Singh, and welcome to this series of PgMP and PfMP certification knowledge. Actually, this is the 8th session, the last session of the series. If you have been joining my previous sessions and you know how important, how good these sessions are. So welcome back to this session. And if you're new, I'd like to, welcome you for the first time. Yes, you have missed a lot in 7 sessions. So, but I will be sharing links with you a little later so that you can go back to those videos if you wanted to learn more from the previous sessions. So first of all, I'd like to thank you, all of you, and wish you happy new year. I hope all the dreams and for this 2024 will come true. Happiness and prosperity, everything, fall on your feet, and you will be happy, excited person, which you are already. Okay, so as I said, this is the 8th session. So 7th session already gone through. Every month I have been running this session. So last year I conducted 7 sessions, and this is 8th session. Yes, this is the last of the series, but that doesn't mean you cannot learn from me. Anytime you can book my time and you can keep learning from me. So a little bit about myself, you can have a look here. I'm into teaching PgMP, PfMP, and done a lot of project program management. So I love my numbers. As you can see, some numbers: 483 PgMPs as of last year, December 2022. I said 23 actually, not long ago, from 52 countries. Yeah, happy, and yeah, I'd like to see more. This year, my personal target is to get 100 PgMP at least, if not more. And PfMP, 132 PfMP altogether from 28 countries as of last year. And yeah, my personal target is 50 or more PfMP this year. Anyway, so look, what that means is if you do join my program, you will get best from me, because I like to see anybody coming to me get the best from me and get the exam done as soon as possible. Some more information about myself, you can go through it. I was in Sydney, Australia for many years, lived there 22 years, and also worked with many organizations such as PMI Queensland chapter, PMI Melbourne chapter. So they have been pushing me to run these sessions. So thank you for encouraging me to run this session. PMI Queensland chapter, anybody from Queensland or Brisbane, hello to you. And PMI Global, and they actually have been encouraging me to run these sessions. They wanted to talk about PgMP, but they know that I'm the biggest contributor in this space, and I have been into this PgMP PfMP space since 2009. I've seen ups and downs in this whole certification process, and I'm happy to see that the process has improved a lot. In coming days, I think there's a lot has to change. I have been providing my feedback and my contribution behind the scene to PMI. So anyway, so thank you PMI for trusting me to run these sessions for you. And thank all of you once again to join this session. And believe it or not, this is a very interactive session, today's session. I know you cannot talk, but we're going to have several questions. I have lots of questions to go through. If you have been preparing for PgMP, PfMP, yes, you're going to learn, I think, if I'm maybe a 15 to 20 questions to go through. Anyway, so those coming later, and a few other things, I'm into yoga. So if you do see me upside down, standing on my head or hands, that's really me, not photoshopped. I have been practicing yoga for, I don't want to give my age away, but yeah, so more than 4 decades, if not more. Anyway, so as I said, this is 8th session. And that means 7th session already gone through. I'm sharing the links with you. Lots of links here. 7 links for the last 7 sessions, and a couple of videos where I have already gone through extensively. 1 hour, 1.5 hour video for PgMP, PfMP. And if you are interested in joining my direct boot camps or any online program, I'll share a link about that, and also a short link where you can see if your chapter is or a company is eligible for any particular discount, feel free to navigate and let me know, Dharam, I'm coming from this community or this chapter, and they are part of your page. Can I get the benefit of the discount? Anyway, so all these things are there. You can copy and paste these links and use them as and when you want. Okay. All right. So let's do recap of the last 8 sessions, especially if you have not participated so far, you will be finding this session or recap will be useful as well. So yep, we have 1 to 7 recap refresher, and we have PgMP questions and PfMP questions. So what did we talk in session number 1? Here we, and again, go back to the links I have all given you. If you want to note down, that's also here. Know how, why PMI certification, what is the purpose of certification, why this, what will happen when you get the certificate. Some people get different, everybody get different benefit out of this program, getting the certificates. The most important thing is you will be seen as a specialist in those areas, as a program management or professional portfolio management specialist, and you may get promotions, you may get bonuses, you may get headhunted, or may happen many other things. Who knows? I know some of my students now, when they started as a program manager, now already 3-4 years, they are working in very big, large organization, managing director or director, general manager position. Who knows what else coming to you? So that's where, talking about eligibility, organize, what are the eligibility? Maybe you already know about eligibility. If not, go through that and ask me a question if you want. Organizational benefit, why organization should invest money in your certification, and some stats. So why are we doing PMI certificates, especially PgMP PfMP? Look, there are almost 1.4, maybe more than 1.4 PMPs. Great. If you have PMP certificate, you have done one tick, but you're still part of 1.4 million people around the world. But having PgMP or PfMP will put you into the very special category, and later on I will show you the number. Around 5,000 PgMP globally and 1,600 PfMPs. So yes, and yeah, so this provides an unbiased and reliable means to validate your domain expertise, domain knowledge, and your professional experience. For over 50 years, PMI offered certification and is globally recognized leader in the industry. So there are many organizations providing certifications, but PMI certifications are, personally I believe, they are providing more value to people around the world. And the good thing is they are transferable. Whether you're coming from Australia to US or US to Chile or any other country, you can, most likely those companies or those countries, they know about PMI certificate, and you have a good chance to get into that company or that organization. This will give you competitive advantage. Why? Because as I told you, 1.4 million PMPs, and if you're applying for the same role and there are another 100 people applying for this program manager role, those people you are competing with, they are already PMP. But if you do have PgMP or PfMP, that's where you have extra advantage. And even if they are not asking for the certificate, and I can talk about my experience when I got my PgMP back in 2010 in Australia. Nobody was talking about PgMP, but I changed 4 jobs. No one was asking for PgMP, but I got the job because of PgMP. Because the moment they see my resume and see that I'm saying PMP, PgMP, what is PgMP all about? And at that moment, I know the job is for me, because they have no idea I know everything about this PgMP certification. Emphasize your commitment to professional growth, and by maintaining PMI certification, you continue to develop your knowledge, skills, and abilities. So yes, you have to maintain PDUs. The purpose of PDU is to encourage you to learn, keep learning. Okay, so that's where it is. Relevance, demonstrate your relevance with the certification that are developed by the practitioner, upheld by rigorous standards. So PMI standards are very rigorous and very detailed. Of course, a lot to learn from them, And this is good. They are doing a lot of research. PMI investing a lot of money and time in doing lots of research, analyzing and running some conferences to learn from each other. So, that's where you go for the certification. Now, eligibility. While I have talked in detail in the previous sessions, the PgMP eligibility, you need to show if you are a secondary degree holder, that means high school or diploma or a global equivalent, then you have to show 4 years of project management experience or PMP. If you already have PMP, that means you don't have to worry about the project experience in any of this under this. But if you do not have PMP, then you have to talk about 48 months of your project experience, project management experience. And program management experience, you need more, 84 months. But if you have 4 years of degree, by the way, they have mentioned 4 years, but I have seen people coming with 3 years degree, they can also apply under this category. If you have any doubt, you can talk to me about this. In this case, you have to show 4 years or 48 months of experience. And this experience can go back 15 years. When you show your experience, the experience must be unique or non-overlapping. If you do have overlapping, the system will calculate the experience only once and allow you to add only once. Something many people do not know about, if you have completed or done any degree or certificate or postgraduate from GSE accredited program, means PMI has relationship with many universities around the world. I would recommend you to take a search on this on the Google GSE accredited program PMI and go to the directory. If your university is one of those universities part of the GSE accredited program, you have to worry about only 3 years of your project management experience and 3 years of program. So basically, you're getting 12 months and 12 months of credit. I think that will be useful if you're coming from those universities. And there are more than 100 universities around the world. Majority, of course, from US, many of them from Canada, many of them from Australia, Singapore, and some other countries. All right. Similar experience you need to show as a portfolio management. Now, instead of program manager experience, you have to show portfolio manager experience. Okay. Here, having PMP, no PMP doesn't matter. You need to show 96 months of or 8 years of professional business experience. So, by the way, whatever work you have been doing for last 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, that is considered as business experience. Whether you are a project manager, program manager, business analyst, tester, doesn't matter. That work is counted under 8 years. So what they're expecting that you have at least 8 years of business experience. Now, as a diploma holder, secondary degree, high school, you have to show 7 years of portfolio experience. Whereas if you have degree, 4 years degree or more, you have to show only 4 years of experience. Okay. And GSE accredited program, yes, you can still get 12 months of credit. And please feel free to put your questions and on eligibility or anything, and we'll come back to your questions. All right, and try to have those experiences backward calculation. If you may have experience done 15 years, thing is that you can use it for the experience for eligibility purpose, but the chances are that you remember about that program or portfolio, or your manager remembering that program is very, very less. So don't go too far, go backward. And if you have any questions around eligibility, especially you say that my designation is when I'm called as project manager, but I'm running programs or portfolio, can I be eligible? Yes, you can be. So you can discuss your specific situation, any eligibility related question, and I will be happy to resolve that and get your eligibility right. Don't assume anything. You don't want to go and pay the money and then realize that, hey, you are not eligible. But if you have any slightest doubt, please book my time and we'll talk. The number 2 session, which you can always go back to, this is YouTube link, which I already shared on the chat. Here we talked about roles, application process, panel review, and and country-wise stats. So a little bit of a timeline, and again, this is just a rough timeline. Everybody's journey can be a little bit different. Yes, writing application is definitely going to take time. You know, if you already started the application, you know the complexity in this process. You need to write, you know, let's take this PgMP PfMP timeline same way, is almost same. You need to write your program description or portfolio description and the 5 questions. Writing those things and other generic information, yes, you need to capture. But all this information, you need to put together 300, 350, 500 words. It's like a big essay. And in a particular structure, they have a particular expectation. If you do talk to me and you do take my application support package or mentoring program, you will know how to write the application. Because one thing you don't want to spend a lot of time in writing the application and don't want to wait too long for your application approved. Because if your application is not good enough, PMI send the application back and you revise it, and then, you know, after 1 or 2, they may reject the application. So you don't want to do that. So try to save your time here if you can. Generally speaking, around 5 to 7 days is good enough to complete your application. Okay. Once you submit the application, then the PMI will do the completeness review to ensure that all the expected information is provided. Here they will see the program description. If they have any question on a program description, definitely they will come back to you. And they also want to make sure that you have 5 questions. And if they will not check the 5 questions here, then those 5 questions are going to be reviewed as part of the panel review. But at least they will check if you have the questions or not, responses to that. Audit process is a random. If you do pick up for audit, they will be asking you. You know, actually, this is simplified process now. Previously, you had to get a physical signature and you post them to PMI, long process. But now the audit process can happen within few seconds, especially when your manager is sitting next to you. Hey, Mr. Manager, can you, I'm putting your name to the PgMP application. You will see the email from PMI. Can you finalize, process? Within few seconds, let's say hypothetically 1 hour, 2 hours can happen. Okay. And it's random. Nah, doesn't matter who you are, where you're coming from. It's purely random. Once your audit process and the initial review is complete, PMI will ask you to pay the fees. And once you pay the fees, you are into the panel review. That's where they will review the 5 questions which you have written. And that process can take somewhere from 1 day to 60 days. Yes, you heard it right. It can go up to 60 days. And it's purely because it's all manual process, a lot of involvement there. And if you have done the good job in application, you may get faster response. But if you're not, they will, try to justify why your application should be approved or not. And they will, if they're not satisfied, they will come back to you. Then that's where you lose the time. I mean, somebody I was talking to, and he's also in the group at the moment. He's talking, it can take 6 months. I mean, to be very frank, I've seen only a couple of applications gone that far. Generally, 2 to 3 months. Realistically, you should be fine. Okay. Now, once you complete your panel review and then you are eligible to take exam, once you pass the exam, you will have of course, you maintain the PTU. So you in the one application, you have 3 attempts, maximum 3 attempts, and you are eligible to take the exam in 1 year. Okay, but don't leave it for last minute. Don't waste your other 2 attempts just because I have 3 attempts. Every time you take the attempt, you have to pay. Remember that there's a fees involved. Yes, you can do the 3 exams in one application, but if you fail the first attempt, you will pay another fees. And if you do that, so never ever, unless you are very satisfied from your preparation, don't go for the exam. It's not about the money. You said, don't worry, I have plenty of money. You may be those rich people. But it's not about that. It's about the time consumed. Time goes into this whole process. After you fail the exam, you another 2 to 3 months of hard work, and then another pressure on you and your family. You know what I'm saying. Once you pass, you have to maintain your PDU just like your PMP 60 PDU. Good news is The PDU you're going to earn for one certificate, you can apply them to almost all certificates equally. Only thing is you have to pay, $60 or $150 for non-members to maintain your certificates. Okay. Any questions so far? Yep, this is maintaining your PDUs. Yeah, so PMI allow you to, after 3 years you renew your certificate. Sometimes they give you some grace period. I think generally they allow 1 year. But please don't let these certificates go, whether PMP, PgMP, PfMP. Earning PDU is not that difficult. Sometimes people, Dharam, is for too much problem for me to earn PDUs. That's why I let go. No, never ever let go this certificate. If you have any doubts and questions around PDUs, talk to me. Okay. Yep, some of the common mistakes. Many people have gone through this, and they come to me, hey Dharam, I want to do this certificate, but I will try myself. I've done 60 exams, 50 exams, 40 exams, all done by myself. I tell you, PMP or ACP or RMP or many of the certificates, I've seen people doing it themselves, much easier to do. But when it comes to PgMP or PfMP, these two certificates, the pass rate is very low. And that is not because, actually the books are very small. And people get, thinking that the book is small, I will read the book 10 times, and I will do lots of mock exam and I will be fine. Since 2022, I have assisted 39 people. They came to me after trying the exam once, twice, thrice. One person came to me after 5 attempts, one person. But many of them after 2 or 3 attempts. They tried, and initially they thought, okay, I missed by 1 mark, maybe on the borderline. Let me try again. Then this time they've gone back further, and okay, I will do it again. After 3 attempts, they realized too much. Then come to me and Dharam, how can you help me? I have helped them. All of them passed with 39 or 39 passed with above target results, and very good results. I'm very happy with that. But it is difficult for me to take you out from that negative zone and bring you and get the results. I have done it, but what I'm saying is, don't fall in the trap of I will do myself, or I will try some cheaper options by going through some other mentors. They are charging only $200 or $500. Be careful whenever you pick a mentor. You talk to the person and make sure you have the frequency. Maybe let's say if you want to take my mentorship, before I encourage you to book my time and go through with the process and make sure you and me on the same page. So you don't want to be in a situation like, okay, Dharam is great, he will help me anyway. No, there can be a time when I may be too high. My explanation may be, you may not follow that. Then what's the point? Main important thing is, do we have the frequency match? If yes, then the working together will be much, much easier. Don't fall in the trap of cheaper option and let me try the online version. I've seen that happening. Those things, people regret after some time. Yep, experience mismatch, total experience calculation. You don't calculate it properly, then sometimes people don't like it. Choice of word. When you're writing the application, choice of word and how to write is very, very important. Mentioning all work experience. Sometimes people are trying to put too much information in this. Writing application should be, just enough information. You may have 20 years experience and you like to provide, 10 programs. Think about every program description will take you 1 to 2 hours, maybe 1 or 2 days. It's too much work. My suggestion is just do enough. If one program or one portfolio can satisfy your experience eligibility, fantastic. Maybe 2, maybe 3. When it starts becoming 4, 5, 6, it's becoming too much. Too much for you to write, too much for me to review, and too much for PMI to review. Keep it simple as possible. Provide just enough information which is relevant and latest information. Yeah, don't, I've seen application coming back. They wrote a couple of lines on this and a couple of lines there, and then they come, Dharam, I don't know why PMI rejected my application. No, PMI is very particular about the content of the application. They are very much looking forward your experience as a program manager. So you cannot just write a couple of lines and 3-4 lines and just leave it and let them assume that, you know, because your title is director or senior manager, doesn't mean anything to them. What work you've done, how you did, that's what you have to explain. So please write enough and so that gives clarity to the reviewer that you have really done the program management. Okay. I hope it's making sense to you, and let me know if not. And I'm trying to recap everything, and that's where you may say that I'm talking too many things in the shortest time. But if you want to go back and listen to the detailed, that's where these YouTube channels are available for you. YouTube videos, 7 videos, go back to them. I'm trying to recap as much as I can from there. Now the exam fees, of course, these fees are, you know, what I'm showing you here are for the zone 1. So what PMI has done now, they have divided the fee structure as per the zones. So they have 3 zones, and you know, of course, these zones are based on United Nations, some economy, based on the economy and all those. So zone 1, generally, as you can see, the US, Canada, and maybe some other countries. Then zone 2 and zone 3. So this fees of $800 for, of course, zone 1. And you may have to pay some local taxes as per the PMI's agreement to the tax organization. 800. This is for the member fees. Non-member will pay $1,000. If you have to retake the exam, you have to pay the fees. Maximum you pay $600 plus taxes. As a member, non-member pays $800 plus taxes. Yes, zone 2. I think the fees is around, I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think 700 something and maybe 620 and 500 something. You know, if you're coming from some of the African countries, maybe India or some other places, you may have to pay less fees compared to people paying in United States or Canada. Yes, I know it's an unfair system, but in a way it's a fair system because people from the third world country, they cannot afford the same fees as other people in United States they can afford. PMI do have a refund policy. I will encourage you to go through it. If you have not, let's say if your panel review is rejected for any reason, they will refund the fees back to you. Okay. Or if you have completed the panel review and you're not book your exam, you can still request PMI for refunding the fees. They will refund the fees, no question asked. But if you have booked the exam or you failed the exam, then you cannot ask. Okay. Exam structure. So whether PgMP or PfMP, similar structure actually. Total of 170 questions in 4 hours. And out of 170 question, 150 question going to be used for scoring, checking, testing you. The 20 questions, these are not, you know, you're not going to get score on this. But the problem is you don't know which 20 questions. So for you, all 170 questions are equally important. 4 hours, very important to note. We have only 4 hours and 170 questions. I've seen people running out of time, and sometimes people not able to complete the exam because they spend too much time in the first few questions or whatever. I'm very happy to say that most of my students are passing the exam in 3 to 3.5 hours. 11 PgMP students have completed the exam in 2.5 hours. 11, not 1 or 2. 11 people. 6 professionals have completed the exam in 2 hours. And these are not made up numbers. These are real numbers. If you contact me, I will give you the name and you can talk to them, those people. Steve Pollack and Venkatesh from Brisbane and many others. So 6 people have completed exam and passed the exam with above target. The way I'm going to work with you, structure the program, make you think through the questions and get to, you know, it's not about memorizing the answer or going through some set of questions. No, it's about how to navigate through the complex question in the shortest time. If you have unlimited time, you may be able to do many questions, but some questions have tricks involved. If you can get the tricks, pick the trick, then answering the question can become very easy. So 2 hours, 2.5 hours are not made up numbers. These are real numbers, and you can also achieve that. But if you are not careful, you may end up spending full 4 hours, still not complete the exam, or you may come out with the sweated and very exhausted. Yeah, so don't worry. If you are my student, you will see the experience. Similar structure with PfMP exam, 170 question, 150 going to be used for this. Yes, very careful. PfMP exam, for me, I have 99.29% pass rate with 132 PfMPs. 2 people did not pass the exam for some reasoning of, I can talk about the reason why they didn't pass, but only 2 people have to repeat the exam. But I'm very happy with my results so far with PfMP. PgMP, I started in 2009-10 and early days. So my current pass rate, if I look at the overall, is 90+%, and the last 5 or 6 years, I'm getting 95-96% pass rate in my PgMP. I think that's a good success rate to claim. So I'm very happy with this. Session 4, again, the link is there for you if you want to go back and copy this. What did we talk here? The exam content outline, very important from PMI's point of view. This exam content are ECO for PgMP, ECO for PfMP. This is where they're talking about the domain, subdomain, and task and knowledge skills required for you to do. These 2 are free download. Even if you're not a member, you can go to PMI website and you can download these 2 documents for free. But must have, or you have to understand these documents very carefully. The problem with the PgMP book, this is actually this was released in 2011. Now we have 2020. The SPM was released in 2017. So there's a big mismatch. So when you work, my student, I will tell you how to differentiate and what to go through to make sure you have the latest knowledge compared to what is mentioned in some of these documents. All right, any questions so far? All right, so standard for portfolio management for portfolio book, of course, if you notice, I'm talking here 3rd edition, not the 4th edition, guys. Very important. If you're preparing for PfMP, make sure, and especially now in 2024, and if you're watching this video and later on, make sure you know what document is relevant at the time. As of now, even though the 4th edition is available on the PMI website since 2018, the exam is still based on 3rd edition. I know it's crazy. PMI should have changed the exam 6 years ago, but they have not. Why? Don't ask me, because there's a lot of big history around that. But for you, the book you have to download. It's not, you cannot easily find this. You have to search for this 3rd edition. And if you do take my mentorship, I will send you a link where you can download and print this document. Generally, PMI don't allow to print the document, but this document, when I send the link, it is printable. Same thing with the PgMP, Program Management Standard, the 4th edition as of now, 2024, January 24. This is the 4th edition applicable, so that's fine, no problem with this. I think sooner, maybe somewhere in next 3-4 months, the likelihood of releasing, and the 5th edition is also coming. And what is the date change of exam and all those? I don't have that at the moment, but if you are in my LinkedIn, you will know. Yeah, you will know that what change and when is changing. But as of now, the book is still 4th edition, and they have not released. So at least you can safely assume another 4 to 6 months, we will be referring the 4th edition. What you should do to prepare for the exam? Yes, you have to have the handbook. Go through the handbook to talk. This is talking about the process to follow, the audit, panel review, and those things. And it talks about the refund policies and extending the exam. And by the way, nobody will talk, but let me tell you, if you have certain conditions, medical condition or some physical condition, you talk to PMI, instead of 4 hours, they may give you, I think 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours for the same exam. Okay. I got one person, he is coming from Colombia, and he's a 77-year-old. Yes, I'm talking 77-year-old. This guy is still working and still excited to do the exam. He's doing the exam in February, and I got him extra time for his exam. One is, of course, the age is there, so he will take more time to do the exam, and his language is another problem. So if you have any doubts around that, I can help you with this, and maybe I can guide you how to approach PMI for seeking extra time, especially when you have medical condition. Some condition you have to go to washroom multiple times, so that the PMI understand this situation and they will help you with that. Okay. All right, lot to go through today. Okay. What you should do to prepare, of course, you have the latest books as I've been talking, and you should get if you're taking my mentorship, I'd love to help you out. Go to my website. If you just want to buy material, that's also available. And by the way, I'm in the very close to release my app. An app will have lots of information with 9 mock exams and practice 300+ practice questions, and every task will have 5 questions. So I'm very proud that the app will be the game changer for most people. So soon you keep an eye on the announcement on the LinkedIn, and I will be happy to help you with that. Summarize all the above again as keywords and the concept. Create the table, relationship diagram. Look at the sequencing of the documents, task, everything. And take the mock exams. If you have my app, of course, you will be happy to see 9 mock exams, and that will help you to build your confidence, I'm sure. Yeah, same thing with the PfMP. There are, yes, app is a little bit further away because my focus is the PgMP. My PfMP app will be followed by another 2-3 months once my PgMP app is ready. So I'm going to release PMP and PgMP apps in the first lot, then work on PfMP and PBA, RMP. So it's going to be one-stop shop for all the exams from PMI. All right, so Dr. Jin's book is still valid. I highly recommend her books. Especially she has some of the most challenging questions that will help you to test yourself early enough and make you more comfortable. Okay, number 5, we talked about PMBOK. Here we're talking about the number of questions from each of the domain. You can see 15% from strategy, life cycle will give you 44%, and stakeholder and so on. So you can see how much. I mean, that does not mean that you're not going to pay attention to some of the area where you have less questions. You're going to pay equal attention, but you pay more attention to some of the areas, like definitely want to spend a lot of time in program life cycle. That's where the 44% questions, that's 75 questions. Something similar for PfMP, you can see lots of questions from strategy and performance, 25%, and governance, 20%. Yes, again, you need to focus on all these, every topic. Number 6 session, we talked about the future of the program, portfolio managers, career growth, artificial intelligence. I mean, not just PgMP, PfMP, and how this new technology is going to help you to do your job better. So salaries, probably know that having a certificate versus non-certificate, chances of getting higher salaries much. You have better chance to get secure more salary compared to non-certified professionals. So you can go through it. Certification are valuable community, of course. They help you to stay ahead of competition, help you, gives you credibility as an individual, reflecting your domain and professional expertise, and show your dedication to the profession, your knowledge and expertise in that particular domain. And having a certificate help you to have, and I mean, I don't know what the word is. Ubiquitous language to help. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe do a Google search on this, for the communication purpose. Sorry. And these certificates are globally recognized, so yes, you can go anywhere. your chances of getting much recognized much higher. And what did we talk in 7th edition, 7th session? We did lots of questions and other things we did. So go back to those sessions as well. So you have all the you can see, if you have not seen the chat, let me put them back again for you, and you can note down these links, and hopefully you will benefit out of them. Some year-wise stats at the moment. Yes, PgMP 5,292 as of 30th of November. Yes, by this time this number is already touching 5,500 or 5,600, and my contribution 483 as of December 23. In PfMP 1662, say 1667, and by this time it should be around 1,700 or 1,700 plus. My contribution 132. Yes, I like to see this number grow faster, and that's where I need your help to join my program and get benefit from me. You get certificate, and I get one more count. Yep, this is the growth you can see here with PgMP and PfMP. The last few years have been great. As you can see, the numbers are growing very, very fast. This is 1,182. I think more than 1,200 or 1,300 PgMP last year. So that means the growth is great. This year I'm hoping to see 1,500 to 1,700 PgMPs, and this number will go double, triple very, very fast. I have lots of questions for you. I know we are closer to the time, but I'm sure you're going to love staying and doing those questions. All right, so let me read this question. Which one justify a program? Whether shifting two large manufacturing unit because it's too large in size, service delivery because scope is diversified, managing multiple projects where each project provides unique benefits, organize an internal training program across enterprise on ethics. The correct answer for this is, so why not A, shifting to large manufacturing unit because too large? So it can be a program, it can be a project. So wherever you see ambiguity, please don't pick those answers. There's a possibility of, and that can be a project as well. Service delivery because scope is diversified. Yeah, yes, it's not clear definition program. Organize the internal training program across the enterprise on ethics. First program can be, when you build a program and start delivering, that's the current program. But when you start delivering again and again, that becomes BAU or operation work. Okay, I hope you all agree with this. Move to the next question. Question number 2: How your organization is recently adopting portfolio structure. How does this most impact across program? Since it is recently implemented, there is no impact to any program. Defining strategic goals and setting expectation in organization level for all programs. Expected approach to manage quality in all the program deliverables, and expected approach to manage schedule in all the program deliverables. So correct answer for this is B, because we are talking portfolio and strategic alignment, goals and objectives. So that's where B is the right answer. Now moving to question number 3. While working with ABC Constructions as the program manager, you have started a new program to build a new flyover in the busy area. During benefit identification phase, you are identifying benefit and disbenefit from your program. What do you understand by disbenefits? Okay. Disbenefits are outcome from a program which are perceived by one or more stakeholders as non-negative. Disbenefits are an outcome from a program which are perceived by one or more stakeholders as negative. Identification of this benefit does not fall within the program manager's scope. Disbenefits are the outcome from a program which are perceived by one or more stakeholders as positive. By the way, this benefit is nothing but a negative benefit. We do talk about the benefits, positive benefits. Of course, we are doing the program for the purpose to generate some revenue or market share and all those things. But while you're doing some program, you may have negative benefit, impact to some of the stakeholders negative. For example, if you move data center from one place to another, the people serving in the data center in your city, they are negatively impacted while they have new technology or something. But these people have to relocate themselves, or they have to move to some other jobs. So you need to be careful about not just benefit, but also disbenefits. Number 4, you are managing a program ABC. It's nearly completion. You have received email from one of your one of your key stakeholders that your program is no longer providing benefit for the organization. How do you respond? And close program charter, business case, benefit realization report in the mail, and advise him to compare the achieved benefit with these documents. B, saying arrange a meeting with the stakeholder to address the issue, document the issue in the issue register, do nothing, forward the mail to the program sponsor, let him decide. Okay, all right, so the answer for this is, see, I've seen many people have answered as A. If you just send them, hey, Mr. Sponsor, whoever stakeholder, check the program charter, business case, benefit by yourself, and you can find out. No, this is not the way. You rather have a meeting, book a meeting. The PMI is looking for your proactive approach. Arrange a meeting with that stakeholder to address the issue. That's the best way to understand the concern and show how you are delivering those benefits. I hope you're agreeing to this. Option C, which is saying document the issue register, document in the issue register. Look, if this was an issue related to something else, first thing you do, document in the issue register. But because there's a concern, somebody has a concern, it's better to have a meeting first to understand why this person feels that there is a problem. If there's a problem, yes, document into the issue register. Okay, so answer for this is B. Actually, nobody got right this question. I don't know why I think that you got at least C as a no. C is not correct. It's a B. Let's see, number 5. Effective stakeholder engagement is the key for the success of any program. As an experienced program manager, what is the first activity you would perform when it comes to the stakeholder engagement? Create stakeholder metrics, perform stakeholder analysis, set expectation with stakeholders, define communication protocol with stakeholders. Okay, first thing first, let us understand what stakeholder engagement means. So part of the stakeholder engagement, there are 5 activities. One of the activities is also called stakeholder engagement. So part of the domain of stakeholder engagement, there are 5 activities: stakeholder identification, stakeholder analysis, stakeholder engagement plan, and stakeholder engagement. First thing we need to eliminate, that we need to ensure that we know this is not a stakeholder engagement is not an activity. This is actually stakeholder engagement as a domain. So what do we do as the stakeholder engagement as a domain? We identify the stakeholders. When you identify the stakeholder, where do you capture them? Stakeholder metrics or stakeholder register. In this case, register is not mentioned. That's why the stakeholder metrics is the correct answer. You had sent program performance report to key stakeholder. Customer has responded back with the appreciation note. Your sponsor is also your reporting manager has responded back to you, mentioning that he is not happy with the program's performance. What is the most likely approach you would use immediately in this situation? A is saying you use the conflict management skills and change the sponsor's perception about the program performance by showing the customer appreciation note as supporting evidence. B is use the negotiation skills and change sponsor's perception about the program performance by showing the customer's appreciation note as supporting evidence. Use the persuasive skills and change the sponsor's perception about the program performance, showing the customer's appreciation note as supporting evidence. And D is saying request a review meeting with sponsor to review the performance. Answer for this is D, and you can see that why this is D is correct. You may use all these skills, any skills, but first thing first, let's have a meeting. Always look for the proactive approach. The most proactive approach is you request a meeting with the sponsor and then go through the performance part. Why this? Why his or her understanding about, because your customer happy. It can happen. The customer may be happy because you did great job, but sponsor not happy because the company is losing money out of it. You didn't manage the financial part, but you did get a job with the customer. Customer is happy. So yeah, let's talk. Number 7, the governance and PMO office is recently established for the program which you are managing. During the steering committee meeting, there is a discussion point about which are those very important artifacts from the governance point of view when the phase gate review is performed. We're talking phase gate review. Your advice to the steering committee would be balance scorecard, benefit management plan, 2 documents, benefit realization report and the balance scorecard, component transition request, component documents, contract documents, benefit realization report, benefit management plan. First thing first, we're talking phase gate review. Phase gate review, when one particular phase is finished, you're about to get in next phase. So before you get to the next phase, we like to see how did you perform in this particular phase. So plans will not work at this stage. If you look at the benefit management plan, that's why A and D out, because talking about the benefit management plan, we are looking for numbers. In the benefit relation report talks about the benefits, what was planned, what we achieved. Balance scorecard talks about the KPIs, key performance indicator. What was the target for KPIs and how did you perform? I will recommend you to do some study about balance scorecard. Do a Google search, you will find lots of information about it. It's a very important topic for strategic people on the strategies. So they define the balance scorecard, the KPIs and vision, mission, and all those things. The correct answer for this is B for boy. All right. Okay, similar questions, similar set of questions for PfMP. Question number 1, operations management constitute all those activities of the organization that are ongoing and often cyclic in nature. Operation management consists of all except. So remember, portfolio management, portfolio can have operations as well. Procedures and their assignment as role with the lines of delegation, successfully delivery of the benefits, mechanism to report and escalate, and decide how to achieve best value from resources available within the constraints. All right, so answer for this is B for boy, successful delivery of benefit. So actually this is the responsibility of the program manager to deliver the benefit, not the operation manager. Operation manager will, whatever benefit delivered by the program manager will take over and sustain the benefits. Number 2, you're working as a portfolio manager in an Australian government department. The department is undergoing privatization of water services. In order to successfully transform, the department has decided to undergo organization project management maturity assessment. As part of the assessment, it was identified that the department must improve their project and program management capabilities. A structured approach to implement portfolio process may add long-term value to the business unit or to the organization level. The step for implementing a process include all except, and this is question number 2. Let's reset question number 2. Option A, assess the current state of process, assess the current list of components, implement the process, improve the process. So, what is the answer? You have to do the assess the current state of the process, because we are improving a process, so we need to ensure we know the process. Implement the process, part of the, yes, you need to implement one time later on. Improve the process. List of current, assess the current list of component. Component means project or program or whatever work. The list of component does not matter to you. What matters, we look at the process from the process point of view. So correct answer for this is B for boy. Okay, the similar scenario, let me go through it anyway. You are working as a portfolio manager in an Australian government department. Department is undergoing privatization of water services. In order to successfully transition, the department has decided to undergo organization project management maturity assessment. As part of the assessment, it was identified that the department must improve their project and program management capabilities. A structured approach to implement portfolio process may add long-term value to the business unit or the organization level. As part of this step, define the portfolio management vision and plan. What should the vision for portfolio management reflect? Now, this is question number 3. The options are the organization's cultural value should be meaningful and valid to the stakeholders. The portfolio's value and should be meaningful and valid to the stakeholder. The organization's key drivers and should be meaningful and valid to the stakeholder. Portfolio key drivers and should be meaningful and valid to the stakeholder. Organizational cultural values. The vision for the portfolio manager reflect organizational cultural value and should be meaningful and valid to stakeholders. The correct answer is A. Okay. Next question. The organization is recently adopting portfolio structure. How it most impact across the program? Since it is recently implemented, there is no impact to any program. Defining strategic goals and setting expectation organizational level for all the programs. Expected approach to manage quality in all the program deliverables. Expected approach to manage the schedule in all the program deliverables. I think this is repeated, but if you remember the answer, please put the answer. Yep, defining strategic goals and setting expectation in organizational level for all the programs. Which document that formally authorized the portfolio manager to apply portfolio resources to the portfolio component? Portfolio management plan, portfolio charter, portfolio strategic plan, and portfolio authorization order. Look, portfolio charter, whether it's coming from program or project experience, is a similar document which, once approved, gives you authority to apply the resources. So correct answer for this is B for boy, and the portfolio chart is the right document. Okay. And last few questions actually. While working as a portfolio manager for HSR portfolio, you are identifying prioritization criteria for your portfolio. Which one is not considered as prioritization criteria? legislative, strategic fit, ROI, EVM. Yep, EVM, earned value management. Yes, you use legislative, strategic fit, ROI to prioritize, to understand which project to select. But EVM will come only when you start delivering the work. Remember, earned value management, SPI, CPI, CV, SV. That happens when you have actuals. Now, this is the last question, guys. Please participate. Whether you get it wrong, right, doesn't matter. I like to see that. The governance and the PMO office is recently established for portfolio, which you are managing. During the portfolio performance review, there's a discussion point about which are those very important portfolio governance point of view. From the governance point of view, when portfolio review is performed, your advice to steering committee would be portfolio performance report, communication management plan, balance scorecard, benefit management plan, portfolio dashboard, balance scorecard, and portfolio dashboard, benefit management plan. And if you remember, similar question we have seen in the PgMP level. So answer for this is C, because we're talking review point, governance point. You cannot have any plans at this stage, as we talked about the previous question, communication management plan, benefit management plan, benefit. So at the portfolio level, dashboard and the balance scorecard. Balance scorecard again with KPIs, numbers, what was expected. Yeah. I hope you have enjoyed this session or all the 7-8 sessions. I love to know, I would love to get the feedback and whether this was useful for you. And please, you have many ways to contact me. Reach out to me, my email address, my phone number. You can WhatsApp me on this, and there's a way you can book my time, and you can follow me on any of these. Okay, great. Thank you, and thank you all. Thanks to PMI Queensland chapter and PMI. You have been great. You have encouraged me to run this session, and thank you all for joining. So thank you.